Hello my friends, it's Liz here at Liz the Paper Project. Today I'm going to show you a flip through of this mini album I recently finished, and I'm also going to show you how to make one. Isn't it super adorable? Like, it fits in your hands, in the palms of your hands. So the front you'll see here, I've just added some little embellishments from a Simple Stories collection. I have used some of my own digital papers as well to make this little one. I will link everything I've used in the description box below, just in case you're interested. And if I forget something, just leave me a comment and I will try and find what it is that you're looking for. So on the inside cover, I used one of the rosettes I recently made from a Coco and Reno collection. Most of the little cut aparts here are from the Simple Stories, I believe the latest Valentine's collection. And I was so inspired by the tiny pieces, so I thought I wanted to make something to fit them in, and I think this worked out so well. So here I just added some little embellishments. These can all be taken out. That's why I added them on a paper clip, because I thought it'd be so cute to not necessarily leave something so permanent in it as well. Added a little tag to this little pocket that I made on this side, and what you'll notice, it's like an accordion pages album, so it's so easy to decorate and to make it your own. Here I just added a little vellum page that you can lift up and right underneath, and look at that cute little rose. I think that's from a Maggie Holmes collection. It's those puffy little stickers. I love those. Here I made a little tuck spot for it. And then when you go to the other side, because it is accordion, you have more things to discover. So here again, I just added another little cut apart from that Simple Stories collection, and then just embellished it with little things I had around. The pages themselves I made with my own design paper, and you'll see how I put that together in a few minutes. On this side, I added a tiny little tag, and then of course I left some journaling space in here as well. I've started making these tiny little hearts. I've seen them all over the place on social media, and I thought they were so adorable. I have no idea who started them, but they are super cute. And then here you can just do a little bit of journaling, write a little note. And then the back here, I just did a little belly band where you can tuck in another little note or a photo if you're, printing out tiny little pictures of something. And then on the back here, there's another little pocket. So there's lots of little places to tuck in, different types of ephemera. You can just load it up with different pieces. And I made it so that you could add a lot to it. As you can see, I've fit the entire rosette on the front cover. And when you close it all up, it all fits nicely in there. And you've got that other side. So I did share this on Instagram before, and lots of you wanted to see how I made it. So I'm going to show you now. As always, thank you for your support. Check out my links below for my shop, supporting the artists that I feature as well. We really appreciate it. And let's get started. So the first thing you'll need is a piece of cardstock. I'm just using the back of a tissue box here. And I will leave all the measurements here on the screen, as well as in the description box and on my blog. I find that if I'm trying to give you those while I show you what I'm doing, then I mess up. So once you do all your scoring, then you need to get, I guess, the paper that you're going to use for your cover. Now, if you have really thick cardstock that is already double-sided, then you may skip this entire part, because you won't need to be, covering your scrapbook or your piece of scrap cardstock, etc. But if you do end up using something, then these are the measurements that you could use for it. Now, I printed my digital on one side of this 65-pound cardstock, and that's what I'm using as the cover for to cover the cover, if that makes sense. So to cover the scrapbook piece of paper. And again, if you are just using, your printed cardstock, or you have really thick cardstock that's already got a design, then you don't have to do this part. So I'll just let you sort of watch what I'm doing if you need to. I know there's so many videos out there, showing you how to make these covers for books, and that's why sometimes I don't necessarily think that you might need to see it or you want to see another one again. but many of you have asked, so of course I'm just doing that for you now. And as I'm doing this voiceover today, we are expecting a lot of snow in my city. I'm in Ontario, Canada, if you didn't know, and we've had very cold days, of course, but it's the snow, the big snow dumps, that I'm not too happy about. Don't get me wrong, I love to see the snow, but it gets a little bit difficult when you want to get out and do things like pick up groceries or run errands and stuff like that. However, we're still sort of in a temporary lockdown, so it's not like we really have anywhere to go at this point, so I guess it's okay, and I get to do more crafting, so that's a good thing. I have noticed recently, the videos I've been watching, a lot more people are mentioning that they are sick with COVID and the symptoms that they have, etc. So it is definitely, something that's still going on. This is now going on 2 years, obviously, and we just have to, keep each other safe and be careful, my friends, because I notice a lot of people are saying that their symptoms are carrying over for long periods of time, and that cannot be a good thing to, to feel sick for so long. And some people maybe don't even know what they have, because I know that they also suggest on our side of the world anyways, that we only, go to emergency if we are really, really sick, and otherwise you stay home and get treated. So it's one of those things that we don't even really know how many people actually have something or what they have, because there's either no tests available or not accessible, or you're just too sick to go get tested. So just keep safe, my friends. That's all I can say, and try and stay as healthy as possible, and help each other out when you can. So now I'm just moving on to the inside cover, and I just cut up some pieces to go on the inside. I have cut up these little ribbons to use as my closure, but this is where you get to decide, how and what you want for your closure. You don't necessarily have to do what I'm showing you here. And I'll just go ahead and finish that up. So lately I have been finding that sharing my work on Facebook and Instagram has been a lot easier than when I make the videos. So if you follow me on Instagram or Facebook, you'll notice that you probably have seen a lot of these projects before I actually make the video. I'm just, I'm finding that so much easier to do. And I'm just kind of trying to think about, the types of videos that I want to continue to show you. I'm just finding that I'm doing a lot of different types of, video shares with all of you. And I'm trying to decide, what is something that you all really enjoy seeing and what I should continue focusing on. So, for example, I know that a lot of you enjoy the tutorials, which I'm happy to do. But of course, they take a lot more time than if I'm just doing, let's say, an unboxing or sharing something that I received. A couple things I haven't done in a while, let me know if you're interested in seeing those, are journal with me videos, or videos that show you how I'm using my journals. I'm not sure if most of you are interested in that at this point. Let me know, leave a comment below. That will sort of give me a little suggestion on, if I do want to continue adding those types of videos to my channel. I'm thinking back to how I started and what I was doing before, and then, what I've switched to now. So it's just a little bit different than, what I was doing. I'm just speeding up the video at this point here because I'm just adding the covers to the inside here, and I didn't think you wanted to see every little step of the process in regular speed, so I'm just speeding that up a little bit. I'm also trying to keep up with my blog. If you have not subscribed to my blog, please do so. I initially said, the reason I set it up is because there's always sort of a limit to what YouTube shows you. The videos, when I make them, do they actually pop up on your screen, and do you know that I've made them, that sort of thing. So I wanted to kind of take a little control of that with my blog. So here I'm showing you the strip of paper that I will be using to make the actual pages for this mini album. Again, the screens will all be, the measurements will all be on the screen on my blog and in the description box. I'm trying to keep that up a little bit more than, like I said, trying to give you the measurements while I'm speaking, because I always end up messing that up. So I will do that going forward. I have seen this style of album made in many different ways, many different sizes, but this one sort of worked for me because I was trying to fit in those little, I think they're 2x2 pieces from that Simple Stories collection. I thought they were so adorable. I don't have that much of it, so that's why I wanted to, to kind of focus on that. I'm just showing you here that I keep different little envelopes full of scraps, and so I'll be using a lot of the cardstock scraps for this little mini album. Here's where we get to decide, what we want to add to the pages. I'm just going to be using some scraps that I have to make some pockets and tuck spots and that sort of thing. You decide also what the front is going to be, like your first page, and then where your back is going to be. So then this is how you kind of will decorate. This is where you can, do some stitching, sewing, etc., make it your own. I find it easier to add things now before we attach it to the actual cover. And once I've added a few of those pieces, then I'll show you how we are attaching this to our cover. So I hope that you are enjoying this video. If you like this type of video, don't forget to subscribe, hit that notification bell, leave the video a thumbs up. I really appreciate it. And that lets me know that you like this type of video. And of course, lets me know that I should keep making this type of video. So as you can see, I have a lot of little areas to work in. You could, leave some areas for journaling if this is going to be like a mini journal, a spot to add photos. I mean, this is really where you can have fun and get creative. If you make lots of pockets, then you can send ephemera in this to friends. And I think it's such a versatile little album. And I really, really like, making these types of minis. I usually make like a junk journal style. So it's like the one that you hand stitch and you do the, 3-hole binding, etc. I do have some videos showing you, if you haven't seen them, on how I make journals from scratch. I will link those below in my tutorials, of course. But I thought I would show you just a different way to add pages to a cover without having to stitch things on. And I think the accordion style works so well for this, of course. So as you can see, I also like the fact that the front and back of the page here has different designs, so that there's something, else that you can look at when you're flipping the pages. And now I'm just adding another little tuck spot here for it. Oh, and before I forget, I wanted to mention I'm actually in the process of moving my craft space to a different room of my house. My daughter has asked to take over my craft room area, which is actually a lot bigger than her room currently. And so we're going to be making that shift. Now, there's a couple things that are going to be different for me, but I think what I'm going to try and do is maybe film the process for those of you that are interested. I'm trying to come up with design ideas for the space, really trying to decide what I use most of the time and things that I could probably store somewhere else when I'm not using them. But I think I'm trying to sort of make sure that I minimize what's in that room and what I'll be using, because it will be half the space of what I have now. But I think that, in going over the things I currently use and how I use them, I think it's going to work out a lot better, because I don't use everything in my room at this point all the time. And so I think it will be so much easier to, maybe leave storage that I can actually see what's in it, because I know I'm a very visual person. So if I put things in, let's say, boxes that are completely covered, or plastic tubs that you can't see in them, I am so bad at knowing what's in them. It's like I completely forget, like out of sight, out of mind. So I'm trying to revamp that process. But also for my craft space, I'm trying to decide, the layout and the space that I need, like when it comes to tables and storage and that sort of thing. So let me know if that's something that any of you are interested in. It's just sort of seeing organization in a craft space. I'm really starting from scratch. The one thing I love about the room is like it's got 9-foot ceilings, so I'm going to try and take advantage of that. But it is a small room, and so I will be limited to, like I said, space, and it's also a strange angle of walls, so I have to work around that. I do have a closet in that room, which is a bit small, but I think I'm going to also try and kind of utilize it to the best possible way. And so I'm challenging myself to, make my lists of what I will be taking and what I will need to have in there, and then the things that I probably won't be able to fit in as well. So I'm not sure. I do watch a lot of videos where people share their, organization in their craft rooms, but it just doesn't always seem to match for me, because I'm one of those people that really likes to repurpose things, and so I don't necessarily have everything matchy, even though I would love it. I have a lot of vintage furniture that I want to reuse and repurpose, and then, just a lot of different storage ideas. So let me know if you want to see that process. Let me know if you want to help with that process. Maybe I can do some videos showing some, photos of the room that I'll be working at, the furniture that I'm considering putting in there. Maybe you guys could have some suggestions on, what I should put and where I should put it. And I don't know, I think it would be fun to, do a little bit more of design shares with all of you. Not that I am at all a professional in this. I just enjoy doing it. Let me know what you think. Okay, so getting back to this little cutie, I think I've done all the little pockets and tuck spots I want to do. The rest I'll probably just add later. I'm just going to show you now how we can attach the pages to our little cover. And again, leave a comment below. Let me know if what I mentioned about my storage ideas and craft room redesign and reorganization is something that you want to see, or something that you want to see a part of. If any of you are out there and are, very creative when it comes to that, or actually design your own spaces, or even designers, let me know. I would love to hear from you. And maybe we can get some ideas flowing together and seeing how we can help each other with our craft spaces. I started with a craft table in my kitchen, and then I went to, a little corner of my basement, and then that's been expanding, and now I'm going back down again. But I think it will just be so much fun. Okay, so the way I added the pages, you saw that I left, I only glued 3 spots to the cover, because then this way I have a pocket on the back. And I can have an additional little area to tuck spaces and things in there. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, my friends. Remember to check out my playlist. I have different tutorials. I have snail mail ideas. I have lots of different videos you can check out. My favorites are the one-page wonder, and this one could be a one-page wonder if you wanted everything to look exactly the same, because you can make it all with an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. All right, so thank you so much for joining me. Remember to leave a comment below. Leave me a thumbs up if you liked the video, and I will see you next time. Thanks so much for stopping by.